Don't want to be you. Don't want to be just like you. This movie's dumb, but not dumber than the sequel of this franchise. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Buttery Show, and we're here to discuss the bonus round of awesome movies with lackluster sequels. And I have to use that term loosely because, as we recall, the original of this particular film mid, and we discussed the lackluster sequel that was Dumb and Dumber 2. But as a bonus round, since we did 2 out of 3 films in a franchise, we figured let's just snuff out the flame of stupidity and discuss Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd, which, by the way, came out in 2003. I feel like it was a wasted opportunity that they didn't just wait just one more year, because then it would have been 2004, the 10-year anniversary of the first film. Then on the 10th anniversary of this film and 20th anniversary of the first film, we would have Dumb and Dumber 2. And then on the 30th anniversary,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
You're about to go on a huge rant about a franchise that honestly, let me tell you something.
No one should make. Agree.
Let me tell you something, people. Within the last couple of weeks, I have learned this. We keep calling this franchise Dumb and Dumber as well as The Mask. We're calling Dumb and Dumber this whole franchise, even though we're talking about a movie that's honestly very forgetful, but better than the true sequel. And then we're talking,
mind you, a sequel that retconned the prequel.
Well, you know what? If the series just ended with Dumb and Dumberer, I think it would have been better. It would have been better. It's like with The Mask. Look, y'all know we hate The Mask. Son of The Mask. Not the OG Mask. We love that movie. But whenever you kept saying the Mask franchise, I'm like, listen, we know the cartoon exists, but do you realize, aside from you and I, Mike, that cartoon is very obscure, and no one really remembers it except us and anyone else who is above the age of 30 and above. That's what and that's why every time people say it's a franchise, I'm like, oh, what, cartoon? But it is what it is. Dumb and Dumber. I can't believe I'm saying that because Dumberer is not even a word, but hey, it's dumb.
I get it. It's supposed to invoke the stupidity by making an even dumber.
Let's just get this out the way, because honestly, this movie is barely an hour and a half, so you're about to get a very cutthroat review. Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd, is a 2003 buddy comedy film directed by Troy Miller from a screenplay of Miller and Robert Breener. It's the second installment in the Dumb and Dumber franchise.
I know.
I'm just gonna depicting the original film's characters during their high school years. It stars Derek Richardson and Eric Christian Olson in the title.
Yes, role. the guy who played Vaughn in Community and NCIS.
Yes, the film was a moderate box office success, but was panned by critics who compared it unfavorably with the original. Which I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to tell y'all right now. You know what? I'm going to get this out the way, and we'll explain in a minute. I'm giving this movie. Ooh, y'all gonna hate me for this. 7.
What?
7 out of 10.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
It's a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie more than the original movie. And don't get me wrong, this movie has problems, and we're gonna get into
a lot,
it.
yeah.
But I'm like, screw it, let's get to it. So you find out that Lloyd and Harry were both homeschooled, respectively, by their parents. Apparently, Lloyd's dad is Latino, and
actually, there's a deleted scene. To go briefly, just like how Harry had a bit of a montage about his upbringing, so too was there a montage about Lloyd's upbringing. And basically, his parents dumped him in a basket, and he was such a problem child that he was passed on from foster family to foster family. All abandoned him in a basket. And even do you know the show Phil of the Future?
Yes, I remember Phil of the Future.
Yeah, so the actor who played the dad from Phil of the Future played the husband of this deaf couple. And as soon as he sees the basket, he's like sighing in excitement. Hey, look, a baby! And then the first thing that Lloyd does is poke his eyes out. So he's not only deaf but blind too. And eventually, he ends up being adopted by Luis Guzman's character, who's the janitor of the school. This is one of the few movies where actually, okay, look, I know you're gonna ask how I first watched this movie. I'm gonna cut straight to that.
Does it really matter?
I saw it on DVD. I didn't watch the original theatrical release of it. I saw it on DVD when I was a teenager and had a library card, and the library was on the way from the swimming pool, because I was on a swim team, to my house. And I'm like, hey, may as well watch this movie. And I'm like, well, anyways, the point is, when you have a DVD, you may as well watch the bonus deleted scenes, because sometimes deleted scenes can be fun. And so there was this plus a musical number, but we'll get to the musical number later.
I watched it here. I got one better. And as I'm about to let my lovely fiance in, I watched this movie on Encore when I originally watched the movie. Yes, Encore. What a thing. Not about that package. Amazon needs to take it back.
Yeah. No. So basically, I got on DVD. Whenever I borrowed DVDs, when you were at the library, you could only borrow things for 2 days. So I milked the hell out of it. I watched the movie twice, so I wouldn't have to rent it out again. And I watched the deleted scenes, behind the scenes featurettes. One of the interviews in the behind the scenes was funnier than a lot of the jokes in this movie. I'm not going to go too much into it, but this guy saw it on Epic? Really? Not Showtime or Encore? On Epics, where they have the superhero movies. They're not even superheroes. They're not even superheroes. Superhero movie. That's what I call Son of the Mask superhero movie, because at least people have superpowers. There's no villain.
Real quick. Since I'm a better father than Lloyd, we got our little boy his suit for said wedding this Saturday.
So cute.
So for those who don't know, our
executive producer
Ryan is getting married this Saturday. Myself and Mike are part of his groomsmen, and my lovely fiance is one of the bridesmaids. We're already as you can see, my hair is cut. I'm looking fresh and clean right now. We're getting ready for Saturday.
Yeah, I need a shave too. I don't want to shave. I shaved last week, so I wouldn't have to shave now.
I shaved last Saturday by accident because I effed up because I was trying to just trim this down. I ended up accidentally giving myself a certain stash. I won't talk about
it could be worse. At least you don't have Lloyd's haircut in this movie. But then again, if Luis Guzman actually gave you a haircut, you could at least say, hey, I got a haircut from Luis Guzman. It looks terrible, but he was the one who gave me the haircut.
Anyways, Harry's mama is played by Mimi Rogers. I love Mimi Rogers. In case y'all don't know who Mimi Rogers is, she's currently the voice, if I remember correctly, Please, actually, no, she's not the voice. I don't know if she is the voice. No, she's the wrong person. But she was also in a few movies that I remember. She was in The Rapture. She was in Full Body Massage. She was in Austin Powers, Man of Mystery. She was also in The Door on the Floor. She was in Ginger Snaps.
Yep.
And she was also
I love that movie.
Yeah, she was in X-Files, 2.5 Men, Wilfred, Mad Men, Bosch, and Bosch Legacy.
Nothing to do with Johnny Young Bosch, just letting you guys know.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, she was also in Cruel Intentions too.
We don't talk about that. That's a prequel, by the way.
Stop it. Apparently, she was the producer of Unstoppable, that movie with Chris Pine and Denzel Washington. So, good on you, Mimi. Good on you.
Yeah.
And she was also in NCIS Los Angeles as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Mimi Rogers is Harry's mama, and she gives him a map, aka
because he had an imaginary friend named Captain Rob.
Yeah. So, and then on their way to school, Harry and Lloyd bump into each other, which is the reason why Harry chipped his tooth, because it got lodged into Harry's. Lloyd chipped his tooth, and that's the reason why it got lodged into Harry's skull. And then that's when you find out that Eugene Levy's because Eugene Levy's the principal, he is trying to commit fraud
in order to get a condo in Waikiki
with his side chick. The school secretary.
No, she's the lunch lady.
Lunch lady. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Well, in general, like, the principal, let's just face it, people. At some point, if you went to high school, your principal was sleeping with either the secretary or the lunch lady. It was either one, okay? Let's just face it, I'm not going to say all of them, but most principals were hoes, but that's a different story for that.
Okay, let's talk about Eugene Levy, like really, really quickly. So Eugene Levy was famous for the American Pie franchise, and he even appeared in some of its spin-offs. Did he play the same character? Who knows? I never watched Bandcamp or any of the million American Pie Presents spin-offs. But he was in a lot of them. He was also in Splash, Heavy Metal, Foxy Lady, Once Upon a Crime. He was in New York Minute with the Olson twins. Yeah, and one of our all-time favorite movies, Bringing Down the House. It's like, code points are gone, and you got to be wrapped up in this crazy world. He was in Like Mike.
I have a confession. I've watched the majority of all the American Pie movies. I was at the tender age of 11. No, tender age of 12. Perfect time for me to watch the other American Pie movies. I've already seen 1, 2, and American Wedding.
He played Albert Einstein in A Night at the Museum 2. Yeah. He was in Night at the Museum 2. He was in Goon. Surprisingly, he was in Finding Dory, Being Canadian, Star-Crossed, Summer Camp, and as far as TV shows go, he appeared in Duckman, as well as Nightmare Ned, Mad About You, Hercules. That's right, he played King Midas in Hercules. Yep. He was in Dilbert. Martin Short Goes Home. And he co-starred with his son in the show Schitt's Creek. I love that show. I only saw like 2 episodes in the background. I should watch it. Okay, but I know that his son, because I know his son is both the showrunner and star of the show. But I don't know all the details. Oh, and he appeared in 1 episode of the Drew Carey Show. If you've never seen Drew Carey Show, gotta watch. It's a great show. Can't find it on DVD anywhere except for like a 6-episode set. It's like, which I have, by the way. 6 episodes, one of which featured Jamie Lee Curtis.
If you want to watch the Drew Carey Show, it's on Pluto. If I remember correctly, it's on Pluto TV. So you can definitely watch it on there.
Definitely did not see it on Pluto. But I mean, you can buy the seasons on Amazon, like actually buying the seasons, but like you won't. But it's like digital. You're not getting the hard copies because believe me, I would love to get the full 9-season box set on DVD if I could, because I grew up watching that show, that and Third Rock from the Sun.
Anyway. So Eugene Levy comes up with this idea. They're giving out hundreds of thousands of dollars, about $100,000 to schools with special ed programs, right? So Eugene Levy, what's the word?
Embezzles.
Yeah, he embezzled. He's like, I'm gonna embezzle this by making a makeshift special ed class for Harry and Lloyd. And
no. Like he doesn't decide to use them yet, but he's like, where am I gonna find a bunch of idiots to pose as special kids? And then he looks outside. He looks outside of his window, and he sees Harry and Lloyd nuclear wedging by Turk. Which, by the way, let's talk about Turk for a second, as well as the other kids who end up in this special needs class. Turk was played by Eldon Henson, who was in one of my most favorite Kieran Culkin films, The Mighty. That's right. He played Kane in The Mighty, based on Freak the Mighty. And look, quick aside, Kieran's my favorite of the 3 Culkin brothers that are actors. There's a total of 7 siblings, but only 3 of them are actors. Macaulay, Rory, and Kieran's my favorite.
Kieran's my favorite as well. Anyway, but also Eldon was in the first 3 seasons of Daredevil. Then showed up in Defenders. If I remember correctly, he also showed up in Jessica Jones. And
Mighty Ducks trilogy.
We'll be back for season 4 of Daredevil Born Again with Charlie Cox, with Homegirl who played Karen Page, who's a huge D&D fan, who also taught John Bernthal, a.k.a. The Punisher, who will also be in Born Again as well, how to play D&D recently.
But speaking of Ds, these big flaming Ds, he was in the Mighty Ducks trilogy.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. As well as Castaway, Under the Tuscan Sun, The Butterfly Effect, Deja Vu. Yeah, he was in the Hunger Games. As Pollux. I'm guessing there's a character named Castor. Shut up. Because I made that joke too. Shut your damn mouth. And of course, he was in Saved by the Bell, the new class, Highway to Heaven. Unfortunately, no relation to Stairway to Heaven, which is a show I really liked. And yes, he was in Daredevil, as you mentioned, as well as Luke Cage, etc. He appeared in 2 episodes of Mighty Ducks, the TV series.
I completely forgot about that show.
Yeah, because I've never watched it. So some of the other kids that ended up in the special ed class include Shia LaBeouf as Lewis, the part-time jobber.
Actual Campbell Shia LaBeouf?
Curly-haired, straight out of Holes Shia LaBeouf.
Straight out of Holes! Crazy young brother named Shia.
Yeah, Holes and Dumb and Dumber came out the same year. And he was Charlie's Angels too. And apparently he and Eldon were both in a Battle of Sharker Heights. Huh, small world.
Yeah, but Shia LaBeouf does not need any intro. But I just want to say, Shia, I'm glad that he's recovering. I'm glad he is becoming more sober. God bless Shia LaBeouf. He would not, aside from Even Stevens, aside from Holes in this movie, and
Transformers,
and the Transformers franchise, he was also
Eagle Eye.
Disturbia.
I love Disturbia. I watched it. I watched that movie in Espanol.
Great movie too, and you didn't get in trouble watching it either because you actually knew it, what they were saying. He was in what do you call? He was in Eagle Eye. He was in a couple of recent movies. Oh, he was in Fury with Brad Pitt, John Bernthal, and our boy
Brad Pitt, I think it was.
not Brad Pitt. Louise from Ant-Man. What's his actor's name again?
Oh, Mike Pena.
Yeah, Michael Pena.
Yeah. He was also in a certain film adaptation of a certain book that shall remain nameless.
We can't say the actual name.
And of course, he was in the very iconic viral video. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Some people will dream of success, while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. No, what are you waiting for? Some people give up, but you're not going to stop there. You're gonna work hard at it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just do it. Just do it. You're tired of starting over. Stop giving up.
Did you really just say the entire TED Talk?
I memorized it when I was in college.
God damn it. Anyways, we also have when the only Asian girl in the movie, Michelle Krusiak. I'm not gonna say her character's name. Her character's name is actually Cindy. It's not the name that she was given in the movie.
Ching Chong. That's literally the name that she was given.
Yes, she's been in a lot of movies recently. She was in Float. She was in A Million Miles Away, American Girl,
Duplex,
Picture Day,
Daddy Daycare, Sweet Home Alabama,
Hollywood,
Far
The
North,
Box, Enemy Within. She was in Supergirl.
Yep.
She was in Hawaii Five-0.
She was in 6 episodes of
Shooter.
Titus.
So she's been busy.
Yeah, she was in Hollywood, Getting On, Touch, Fringe. She played Wu Mei in one Community episode. Competitive wine tasting.
And then you have the love interest, Jessica Matthews, played by Rachel Nichols, who was also she was also in NCS at one point. She was also in Conan the Barbarian remake with Jason Momoa. She was in P2, very good movie, by the way. She was in Continuum, another good show. G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra.
She was Scarlett O'Hara in the G.I. Joe movies.
Mm-hmm.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants franchise. Resurrecting at Camp.
There's only 2 movies. 2 movies.
2 movies. I'm surprised they didn't make a TV adaptation on like CW or ABC, because you think they would have.
Look, if we got away with a Sex and the City spinoff on CW that lasted about 3 seasons, you could have done Sisterhood of Traveling Pants spinoff.
She also played Raven in the show Titans.
What?
Yeah.
She played. Wait, I thought Raven was a teenager in the Titans show.
Nope. Angela Azarath, recurring in season 1, guest in season 2.
Well, at least.
And she was a recurring character in The Librarians. I only saw 1 episode of it, but I did watch all 3 movies.
Anyways,
I know you're speechless. I get it. You've been rendered speechless by Rachel Nichols' acting career.
Hey, I can't complain. To be fair, a lot of the actors in this movie went on to be in better projects, so I can't do that. So Harry, all right. So Harry,
even Josh Braden appeared in some stuff.
Oh yeah, he did.
Toby.
I know who Toby is. Anyways, so Harry and Lloyd, they're putting this fabricated special needs program, so that way they can get this so that way Eugene Levy can get this $100,000. Lloyd starts to fall in love with Harry's mama because
he kissed him on the forehead 1 time while he was sleeping over.
look, listen, I've had my friends' moms, they've kissed me on the forehead. I'm not being like, I'm about to be your stepdaddy.
They even have like a father-son conversation where it's like, don't make me turn this girl around. You're not my real dad.
That was so stupid. That was beyond freaking stupid.
Look, credit where credit is due. The two actors who played Harry and Lloyd, they actually did a really good job portraying teenage versions of these two characters. Like, you could say what you will about the writing, but you could say what you will about the premise. But if there was one good thing you could say about this movie, is that they cast the perfect younger actors to play these younger versions of, of Jim Carrey's and Jeff Daniels's legacy characters.
Exactly. Like, I haven't really said anything bad about this movie yet. So they go on this field trip to the zoo, and to this museum, and
with a very short bus, by the way.
Very short, like
very short. It's like it has the width of a what's it called? It has the lateral width of a Honda Civic.
Yeah, it does. Also, we haven't really. So Jessica Matthews, the love interest, quote unquote. She's essentially she's a Nancy Drew character. She's essentially Nancy Drew.
She wants to become Lois Lane, but she hasn't found anything hard hitting enough.
So she's putting two together that there's something going on with the principal and the lunch lady, and is trying to get this information out of Harry originally. She has Harry come over her house. And Harry, because of what Lloyd was saying, thinks that he might be having coitus with her. Sex.
And Luis Guzman tries to help out in a musical number that was deleted from the final cut of the film.
Thank God. And so while she's trying to get the information out of Harry's freaking out and proceeds to go to the bathroom because he thought he number two'd himself, but he actually
it's not that he number two'd himself, it's that he was sitting on a furnace.
Oh, that too.
So not a furnace, a radiator, and those things are hot.
Look, I've saw a radiator before. That shit hurts.
And like, this is clearly an homage to the scene from the gas station in the original film when he ends up catching fire while the FBI chick is like flirting with him. It's like, give me the goddamn number.
So the radiator melted the Hershey bar that was in his
back pocket.
His back pocket. And what proceeds is the best 5 minutes of the whole movie. And I want to talk about this. He puts on a suit. He puts on what he thought was Jessica's father's suit. And we find out that Jessica's father is played by the late, great, ever so talented Bob Trashmouth Saget. And
that's right, the guy from America's Funniest Home Videos.
The guy from Full House, who we all thought was just, a cookie cutter, plucky dad who wants everything clean, but is a foul-mouthed individual. Like,
yeah, when Comedy Central was doing a roast special for Bob Saget, he showed up from an elevator shaft with a goat with his suit all messed up.
So they're trying. Bob Saget puts two together because he's trying to figure out why Harry. Oh, by the way, Harry's trying to take advice from Lloyd on what to say to Jessica, but ends up saying a bunch of stuff Lloyd's saying while Lloyd is having a verbal fight with a dog.
Typical Cyrano de Bergerac fail. We'll see it again if we ever discuss Corey in the House.
Stop.
More like Corey in the Big House.
Bob Saget hears this, and the one thing Bob Saget and Rachel Nichols' character both acknowledge is that that Harry and Lloyd are special needs, aka they were going to say the one where we don't like hearing about. But he's like, are they? He's like, yeah, Dad. He's like, okay, it's okay. We're gonna have dinner now. Come on in. And then after Lloyd comes in and she tries to get information about Lloyd, and then she finds out that Lloyd has the keys to the entire school because his daddy is the janitor there. She kisses him. Harry sees this and is pissed and storms out. Meanwhile, Bob Saget goes into the bathroom.
You covered my bathroom in bleep! My bathroom's covered in bleep! You bleeped all over my bathroom! Okay, my advice to all you people, if chocolate melts, and I'm not using chocolate as a euphemism, I'm talking about actual chocolate, and it smears on stuff, don't scrape it, don't like try to like remove it with a towel. It'll just spread. It's a starch. Starch spreads. If you had a melted banana or melted potato, the same thing would happen. If you really want to get rid of stains like that, you need to use freaking soap. Soap. It breaks down starches.
Mike, you do realize that this movie's
called I know it's Dumb and Dumberer. But like, I know there's stupid people out there who've been in that situation. Maybe not as hyperbolically. Like I know that there might be a person who's probably wearing a tuxedo, eating a chocolate bar, and a piece of chocolate falls on their tuxedo, and it happens to be a hot afternoon, so the chocolate melts into their shirt. And I know the first thing they're gonna think is, I'm just gonna wipe it off with my finger or whatever, or with a napkin.
Soap and water.
Soap. I know we've always made jokes about deodorant, but for real though, soap.
So Lloyd goes with Jessica. They meet after Lloyd has an entire dream about Harry's mama and Jessica fighting for his love.
Even having a makeout contest.
Us getting a makeout scene between Rachel Nichols and Mimi Rogers. They go into the school. They can't find what they're looking for, but Lloyd, because of sheer dumb luck, because he has Harry's map, sees the treasure box, aka where Eugene Levy and
Sherry O'Terry are hiding all the evidence. Like freaking what? Like Eugene Levy, like even mentioned to Cheryl O'Terry, like oh, these photos of incriminating evidence against us is part of my secret treasure chest for us to look back on. I've been audio taped everything that we do.
This is like ultimate Chekhov's gun too.
This is beyond Chekhov's gun. It's like you are knowingly leaving evidence of your own crimes, it doesn't even raise any red flags.
Hold on, no, I got one better. You are leaving key plot points in this chest.
It's like imagine if like when OJ Simpson killed Nicole, he videotaped himself doing it, and the gloves he used to do it actually had embroidery saying "property of OJ Simpson."
Okay, hold on. Before we even go further, I'm gonna timestamp this joke. Timestamp 11/21, September 26, 2024. This is like if Sean P. Diddy Combs recorded himself buying thousands of bottles of baby oil at a local Target. It explains what he's going to do with said thousands of bottles of baby oil when he gets home.
I'll top you off. That episode, that episode of the Boondocks, where with the trial of R. Kelly, and the scene where they actually show the videotape of him doing it, where he actually says his name, his social security, his birth date, and then he looks directly into the camera
and says "God bless" and hangs up and proceeds to finish doing the deed. You know, Diddy and I bet money that Diddy and R. Kelly are gonna be sharing the cell together. Back to the movie.
Trapped in the Closet season 3 coming up.
We're almost done. Harry and Lloyd start talking to each other for like 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes throughout the movie. And Lloyd wins Harry back by stealing the polar bear statue from the museum. We then cut to
in the same fashion from the scene from the first movie, where it's like, just when I thought you could sink any lower, oh, forgiven.
So, Thanksgiving parade's coming up. They decide to make their own float for the special needs program, blah, blah, blah.
George Washington crossing the Delaware. And then the other special need kids who are not really special needs, they find the evidence. They obtain the treasure chest, and they go through all the records. And even Ching Chong turns out to speak perfect English.
Name's Cindy.
Because her name is Cindy. That she just let everyone call her Ching Chong because it's easier to get boys this way.
You know what this reminds me of? Another timestamp. You want to know what this reminds me of? Do you remember the episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel with the Asian student, the nerdy one? They aired this episode a week after Crazy Rich Asian came out. And when the Power Rangers told her, we gotta blindfold you, she said, you can blindfold me anytime. The reason why I'm laughing about this, people, is because Ryan was so pissed about that episode. He didn't do another episode of Ninja Steel with me for another week or two because of how bad that part of the dialogue was.
Now to rewatch all of your old episodes.
Dog. Ryan was so pissed after reviewing that episode. I had to calm him down after we were off. Like, you good, dog? He's like, this episode pissed me off because Crazy Rich Asian literally just came out and elevated the Asian community. And then this episode comes out and throws us back down. Yo, real talk, people. The early years of Morphin Network were pretty wild. Anyways, so they have the idea to play these tapes, these criminating tapes, during the Thanksgiving parade. And you know what?
Turns out the special needs program was a sting.
Yeah.
There was no special needs program. The special needs guy who got famous and then became a benefactor, that's actually an FBI agent pretending to be special needs.
They were trying to find. Apparently, they've been looking for Eugene Levy's character for a while.
Yeah. So insert Home Alone 3 reference.
Oh my! 7 years I've been chasing this guy, and it took only a kid to bring him to me.
See, look. I know there's gonna be recurring pattern, but I want to say this: I do not hate Macaulay Culkin when I say this. Because I know I mentioned how much I like Kieran better, but I want to be perfectly clear. When I say the next thing I'm going to say, I'm not trying to diss Macaulay Culkin.
I know what you're going to say because we've talked about this before.
Alex was more goated than Kevin McAllister.
He is, and I will agree. I'm gonna defend you on this. The one thing Alex did compared to Kevin McAllister is that when crap was hitting the fan, he called the police every single time, even when the bad guys got away. And what was the first thing he did when he found a freaking military chip in his race car?
He called the Air Force.
Being like, yo, I don't know if this is property of you guys, but there's a military chip inside my freaking my race car. Which, even though they're like, hey, that might actually be a military chip, but you know what? Keep an eye on it. The FBI taps his phone. It's like, yo, we may have just gotten the biggest lead on our case. Where is it? Chicago. When are we going to be there? If we hit the panic button, we can be there within an hour. Let's go.
And by the way, Scarlett Johansson played his sister, but that's beside the point. But also, keep in mind, Kevin only had to fight 2 guys who were like low-level crooks. Alex had to fight 4 international terrorists while having to deal with a deadly virus. Remember, chickenpox is a viral infection that can kill you.
Yep.
It's deadly.
Thank God. My brother almost died while having chickenpox. It got to the scarlet fever portion of said chicken. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you look closer to my brother than I do, so if you ever stop by, ask him about that. He'll tell you all about it. Anyways,
so, let's recap. 1 kid, deadly disease, left alone, not because he was being stupid, but because he was legit left alone to fend for himself against 4 terrorists, against a whiny kid who was perfectly healthy, left home alone by accident, against 2 common crooks. Alex is the GOAT.
When we review the Home Alone franchise, which I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing in the month of December, I'm just going to pop that bubble because I know you. Because if we have to review the Home Alone movies, which also includes those 3 crappy sequels after the 3rd one.
Yes, the one with French Stewart, and the one with Crabman from My Name Is Earl.
I love French Stewart. Okay.
I love Crabman.
I love Malcolm McDowell. Unfortunately, he's in the final movie that just came out.
No. He was in the 5th one.
Oh, even worse. Because I only remember that one. Anyways,
there's 6 of them.
Movie. Hold on, let's finish this movie. So, without a hitch, they're able to get Eugene Levy and the lunch lady arrested for embezzlement. Harry and Lloyd both agree that they will never let a girl get in the way of their friendship, which will never, ever happen when they're adults. And when they get older, will never, ever, ever, ever happen again.
By the way, I have to mention this one scene that was actually kind of funny. Because I did mention it while we were talking about Boom Boomja earlier today. Eugene Levy, thanks to some word from Sherry O'Terry, suspects that Jessica was the one that stole his treasure chest because she's like the snooping Lois Lane type or April O'Neil, whichever you prefer. And so he kidnaps her. It's like, well, my parents are going to be looking for me. And so, like, he calls them on the phone. It's like, a call from the principal who would have, hi, this is Wendy. I am Jessica's classmate. We're going to pull an all-nighter at the library because we have a midterm on macroeconomics. And Bob Saget buys it.
Here's the thing. This was the 80s. I am 90% sure that that parents would believe that. But keep in mind, compared to where we are now, you can get away with that. if you were to actually be like, hey, I'm gonna be at school the
Gotcha.
entire time because we have a midterms, a whole bunch of people coming to study until like midnight, maybe 1 a.m., which for the most part was probably true, especially if you were taking the SATs during the 70s and the 80s, or and get
Midterms
B's to
finals.
actually study. Yeah. Or if you just set that so that way you can, go do, a bunch of other teenage business. So Harry and while that's going on, this is a car pulls up and it is Frida and Rita. Frida from Dumb and Dumber 2, who's the one that got knocked up and had a baby. They were Harry and Lloyd were trying to see who was going to get who. They drive away. The twins drive away, and then Harry gets Lloyd puts Harry in the way, so he gets covered in mud. Then gets ran over by Bob Saget, who thinks it's feces,
which is stupid.
And then they walk out of the sunset with Bob Saget reciting.
My car is covered in bleep. You covered my car in bleep. Your bleep is over my car.
What is wrong with you,
bro? Take it to a car wash.
I'm gonna say this, dog. I'm gonna say this. You know what? I stand corrected. This movie was. I got more genuine laughs out of this movie than Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2 combined. Now, granted, the plot very forgettable. You had this movie takes place in the 80s, and they're blasting early 2000s rock and alternative rock the entire time, majority of the time. Outside the couple of 80s movies like Whip It and Eye of the Tiger, the majority of the soundtrack was mainly songs from the early 2000s,
which kind of ruins the
aesthetic of this movie. But I didn't really care about the supporting characters that much. Honestly, Bob Saget, if I'm gonna be very, very honest, was probably the most memorable part of this entire movie, because I don't really care about how Harry and Lloyd met. I don't care about that because it just makes me realize more and more how stupid these two are. Potentially, it's not even their it might not even be their fault. They're unintentionally dumb, or just their thinking process is slow, but they're goodwill at heart. Okay. Lloyd, I will say, is a better friend here than he is in the future. And your whole theory about Harry being a normal guy, just a bit slow. Nah, after watching this movie, absolutely not. He is on the same wavelength.
I didn't say he was normal. I said he'd be more well off.
Right. Nah, not after watching this movie. He is just as bad as Lloyd. The only difference is Lloyd will cause first-degree murder unintentionally.
Yeah, but Harry would only be in the scene of the crime because Lloyd dragged him to the scene of the crime. So,
true. So with that being said, I'm gonna continue. Like I said earlier in the show, this movie, not show. Actually, I'll say one more thing. There was no reason for this to be a movie. They should just made this a made-for-TV movie instead of a movie where you actually had to go out to the theaters and watched it. If this was like, remember how Revenge of the Nerds had two sequels after 1 and 2, and they look like straight up made-for-TV movies. If this was a made-for-TV movie, I would have been okay with it. I would have been perfectly fine with it. But the fact that they marketed this as a major motion picture film, that's where I draw the line. There was no reason for this movie to actually ever hit the silver screen. It should have just been an Encore original movie, an HBO original movie, a Cinemax original movie. There was no
you have a great movie, like 40-Year-Old Virgin, and then you have a really stupid, irrelevant made-for-TV sequel called 18-year-old version, which has nothing to do with the original 4-year-old version, and the movie was really stupid. In the same vein, there was a Mean Girls 2, which also had nothing to do with the original Mean Girls.
We don't talk about that movie. We don't talk about that movie. That movie does not exist.
I'm just giving examples. Just giving examples. This, like, Dumb and Dumber should be one of those movies where it's like direct to video. I agree with you on that. But at least the jokes hit at a better frequency than, or not better frequency, better rate than Dumb and Dumber 2. Like you'd think bringing back the original cast, who we know are seasoned and funny, would learn from the mistakes of the prequel, make something better. They did not. And I'll say this movie is forgettable, but at least you could like rewatch it a couple of times. Like whether you like actively watch it by renting it from your local library, or just have it play in the background on TBS while you fold laundry. And like this movie is like it's forgettable, but at least it's got more moments. Like for me, like for you, Bob Saget was the most memorable part. For me, it was Luis Guzman. Like honestly, like Luis Guzman, he tried his best as a parent. You know, he got stuff from Lost and Found for Lloyd to use, and then I love how like Lloyd like left a message for his dad using ketchup, like, "Dear Dad, I'm spending the nights at Harry's. P.S. We are out of," and then it mustard ketchup.
That was actually funny. I actually laughed
like,
on that.
He's a good kid, but I wish he would just call me instead.
Anyways, yes, I give this movie a 7. What about you?
Same. I also give it a 7. It had a better cast. It had not to diss Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, but aside from those two original actors, this movie had an all-around better ensemble. It had better jokes. And while this movie is completely pointless, at least it was more cohesive than Dumb and Dumber 2. So, unlike the sequel, the prequel is at least minimally passing. Minimally passing. So that's why I give it a 7.
In other words,
mid.
Hey, it's a good mid, though. It's a
good mid. It's a good mid. Even the slapstick is a little bit better than the original film, even though the original film is just.
Oh, shout out to my boy Tim from Tim and Eric Awesome Show. He played the 7-Eleven clerk.
Yeah, we did not mention that, but he did play the 7-Eleven clerk, where it's like when they played tag. It's like you're in. What's it? I don't know what it is, but apparently it's something you don't want to be. And right now, that is tag. And it's like tag. It's like tag. You're it. No do-overs, no trade backsies, no erases, no earthquakes, and this whole store is safe. And then in a deleted scene, they waited till closing time for him to walk out just so they could tag him again.
Yep. Anyways, let's get to the comments because we gotta get out of here. Well, this was a timeless romp.
Yeah. I wonder if Leo think would be funny than Dumb and Dumber 2.
I did. I did.
And you thought Mindy saying franchising Scream 6. Hold on. Well, hold on. They fix it. Hold on. Was annoying.
Okay, I didn't mind Mindy saying franchise because Scream and Stab were now officially a franchise. There's a difference. And also, Scream is super meta. I mean, hell, if you watch Scream 6 all the way to the end, like myself and Mike here, Mindy said the one thing that I love, even though they kind of broke that. Not
every movie needs an end credit scene.
Even though she's the one who made it. But hey, listen, I love Scream 6, and I really hope 3 Black Geeks invites us to review Scream 4, 5, and 6 soon. Anyways, I want to see that episode of Ninja Steel you did now. I'm going to send it to Mike, and Mike will send it to you, okay? I didn't start watching you guys till Beast Morphers. Thank you. We appreciate it. Beast Morphers was lit. Beast Morphers was lit. Honestly, if next time we see Jackie Swazowski, I can't remember her. I can't pronounce her. Slawski, I want to talk to her about Nate and Zoe potentially kissing. I need to know if on the cutting room floor there is they did film it in which they did kiss, but because of Nickelodeon, they had to get rid of it. I need to know this information.
Amongst other reasons.
I would definitely show her my reaction too.
Okay.
Oh, what's up, Cody?
There's bleep everywhere. Oh my god, he bleeped on the walls. Yay, Leo loves this movie more than Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh yeah, no. As a matter of fact, because of this, I'm going to retroactively go back. I'm giving Dumb and Dumber 2 a 2 out. I think I gave it a 3 out of 10. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 now because this movie is better than the true sequel that's supposed to be canonical.
The sequel that retconned the prequel.
I don't think it retconned it, but I'm pretty sure it retconned it. Anyway,
it tried to because of because of Harry's parents.
Guys, this is the last movie of sequel month. Thank God. Franchise for movies with lackluster sequels. Thank God. No.
Yeah, the next movie we're doing, whether it's on the 29th or the 30th or October 1st.
On October 1st. Let's do it in October. Just bring in the spooky year, the spooky times with a spooky movie.
Well, I'll tell you this: the scariest thing about this movie is how boring it is.
I haven't even seen the movie, and I'm scared. I haven't seen the movie.
Let me put it to you like this. Remember when we talked about Son of the Mask? I made a new threshold of whether I'd watch insert movie here again, or if I would watch the Wicked Prayer again. I'd rather watch Wicked Prayer again than watch this movie again.
Do we really have to?
We said, like, when we did Chrome Month, we did say we will review this movie after it comes out officially. It did come out officially.
Let me know the day we're actually going to review it, so that way I can actually watch. If I have to rent it on Amazon, I will do it. Or you know what? Is it even worth renting?
I'll say this: I would rather rent it on YouTube, just because I'd rather spend $4 watching it on a computer than $10 watching it in a theater. Or better yet, means I don't endorse.
You know what, Mike? Where can people find? We're gonna get out of here now.
Yeah. If you enjoy watching us discuss the Dumb and Dumber franchise, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon, stay notified for latest videos. Yeah, we are officially done with the awesome movies and one mid movie and their lackluster sequels and a bonus prequel. You could find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto, and you could find him on the Reckless_Fox. And also be sure to check out our sister channel, the Morphin Network, where we discuss all things tokusatsu. We did just finish doing the latest episode of Bakuage Sensei Boom Boomger, so definitely check that out. And this coming Sunday, we're going to be doing the winter film for Kamen Rider Gaim, so definitely check that out. And also, we have a bunch of Power Morphicon interviews that we are still uploading, so yeah, there's that.
We have two. I've already sent a few of them to, so they should be getting uploaded hopefully this weekend, because I have like 4 more I'm working that I just finished up, so be on the lookout for those.
Right. And with that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching through all these 7 movies. That's a record, by the way. Like, we've never done more than 5 movies in a single month.
I never want to do this, especially for terrible movies.
Yeah. And with that said, guys,
at some point.
and with that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update merches and kids, hug your loved ones. See you all next time.